That night, after having dinner off campus, Lily returned to her dormitory and saw Dana coming out of the dorm building and entering the academic block. What was she doing so late? Lily tried calling her, but her phone was off. Soon after, Lily noticed the lights in the fourth-floor biology laboratory flicker a few times before going completely dark. In a daze, she thought she saw a shadow flash by. Then, the sky rumbled with thunder, and lightning streaked across the night sky. Concerned for Dana, Lily headed towards the academic block. The academic block at night was eerily quiet and lifeless. The sound of her footsteps, tap, tap, echoed along the long, tranquil corridors. Lily, heart pounding with fear, made her way to the door of the biology laboratory. The door was unlocked, suggesting Dana hadn't left. With a creak, she pushed it open. The biology laboratory, lit only by moonlight, seemed sinister and terrifying. Next to the equipment cabinet stood a human skeleton, adorned with various biological specimens, among them an eagle with wide-open, piercing eyes as if ready to take flight. Suppressing her fear, Lily timidly called out, "Dana." No response. Strange, where was she? Lily groped along the wall for the light switch. Suddenly, her hand touched something soft, large, and alive that moved. Boom! Lightning flashed, momentarily illuminating the pitch-black space before plunging it back into darkness. Lily's nerves completely collapsed, and with all her strength, she kicked, hearing only a scream as the object fell to the ground. Click! The lights came on, dispelling the darkness and fear. Dana got up from the floor, looked at Lily, then glanced around, asking, "What just happened?" "What happened? I should be asking you that." Standing against the wall in the dark in the middle of the night, "What, you're practicing some sort of stealth?" Lily complained angrily. Dana thought for a moment and said, "Fiona just called me, asking me to check if the electric kettle in the lab's rest area was unplugged. I was about to leave after checking when I faintly heard some noises behind me. Turning around, all I felt was a sharp pain in my eye and then darkness. Fiona is their biology teacher, and Dana is her class representative." Lily was skeptical. "You're probably just stressed out and hallucinating. Don't scare yourself." Dana figured she was probably right. Outside, thunder and lightning preceded an imminent night rain. After sorting everything out, the two girls locked the door and headed back to their dorm. Just as the door closed, Lily couldn't help but shiver. It felt as if eyes were watching her from behind. "It's just my imagination," Lily reassured herself, following Dana back. Unexpectedly, she looked up and nearly screamed. Under the chilly moonlight, a dark shadow, shaped like a human, followed closely behind Dana, moving step by step towards the dorm. "You're back," Minnie said as she opened the door for them. The shadow behind Dana had disappeared. At night, with thunder rumbling and rain pouring down heavily, Lily slept restlessly, constantly dreaming of a dark shadow staring at the dorm from outside. It was a struggle, but she finally made it till dawn and got up with huge dark circles under her eyes, carrying her wash basin to the restroom to freshen up. When she returned, an argument was underway inside the dorm room. Dana had accidentally splashed water on Minnie's amulet while pouring water, sparking a heated argument. It was well known that Minnie treasured the amulet around her neck like a treasure, dedicating herself daily to perform elaborate rituals with it, following a strict set of do's and don'ts. Minnie and Dana had never gotten along, neither willing to back down, and the argument escalated quickly. "Minnie, don't think I don't know about you," Dana played her trump card. "You are not born in 93 but 90, 3 years older than us. And you still had the nerve to call us sister." Those who heard this couldn't help but gasp. Exposed, Minnie became furious. "Dana, you wait." The morning ended on a sour note. At lunch, Lily shared with her boyfriend Ethan about the bizarre encounter from the night before and the morning's events. After listening, Ethan pondered for a moment and then asked, "Have you seen a post on the campus forum recently?" "I haven't been online these past few days, no idea." Ethan took out his phone and showed Lily the forum post. 3 years ago, 2 male students, one wealthy and the other poor, pursued a girl who, vainly, chose the wealthier one. But it turned out that the poor boy was actually the heir to a fortune worth over 100 million, preferring to keep a low profile rather than flaunting his wealth. Meanwhile, her supposed rich boyfriend was actually penniless, his branded goods and lavish spending merely a facade built on his parents' backs. Deceived and deeply humiliated, the girl committed suicide in a fit of anger, regret, and remorse. In her final moments, she gouged out her eyes, cursing her inability to see the truth. Since then, a legend has circulated on campus, that the girl's eyes, now infused with her immense spirit of vengeance, possess the power to see through all deceptions. What about the eyes? Lily interjected. That's where the mystery deepens. The eyes disappeared without a trace, no matter how much they were searched for. After breaking up with her boyfriend, Lily called Dana. There's something I need to tell you. In the afternoon, with no classes, Lily and Minnie rested in their dorm. Crystal stormed in, furious, and slapped Minnie, accusing her of seducing her boyfriend behind her back. Had it not been for Dana telling me, I would still be in the dark. You vixen. After Crystal's outburst, she stormed out. Lily and Minnie looked at each other, mulling over her words. I didn't believe it when Dana told me. How did Dana know? During a leisurely evening, the 4 girls played cards for entertainment. On the surface, all seemed calm, but tensions were hidden beneath. Dana, usually not good at cards, kept winning. Toward the end, Crystal was left with only 2 cards. Dana confidently declared, I win again, mine are higher. After the game, Minnie seized the chance to ask Lily during a bathroom break, what's going on with Dana? Could it be she obtained those eyes? Lily speculated. Minnie was shocked. What eyes? Have you not seen that forum post? Go back and search for a recent post on the campus forum. Minnie didn't even think about using the bathroom anymore and hurried back to check her phone. Watching Minnie's hasty retreat, Lily smiled smugly. At night on the weekend, Lily returned to school from outside. Her boyfriend Ethan had something come up last minute, and their movie plan was cancelled. Just as she entered the dormitory gate, it started to rain heavily. Since it was the weekend, most of the students were out having fun. Lily's dorm room was empty except for Dana. Lily went to the bathroom first. After finishing, she walked back. Outside the window, the rain was pouring, relentlessly hitting the windows, common for the rainy summer season. In a blur, someone was standing at the dorm room door. Lily rubbed her eyes. It was a girl. Who is it? She didn't look like one of her roommates. She probably wandered to the wrong door after a night out. Hey, you've got the wrong door, Lily approached her and said. The girl, with her head down and long hair hanging, said nothing. Excuse me, you've got the wrong door, Lily repeated. The girl stayed silent. In the light of the moon and flashes of lightning, Lily saw that the girl was drenched from head to toe, barefoot, and exuded an icy chill. Who is she, and what's happening? Lily was fully awake now. The girl finally spoke in a hollow voice, I'm not at the wrong door, it's here. My eyes are gone, I've come to get my eyes back. This door won't open, will you help me? As she spoke, the girl lifted her head, the long hair parting to reveal her pale face, and where the eyes should be, 2 bloody sockets were seeping blood. Ah! Lily screamed, and everything went black. In a haze, Lily dreamt, the shadow outside the door entered the dorm and sat beside Dana's bed. The figure extended a pale, withered hand toward Dana's eyes. Dana's eyes were gouged out, blood everywhere. The person then dug their own eyes out, exchanged them, and inserted them into the sockets. Then, he looked toward Lily. My God! It was a man, dressed in a suit with a parted hairstyle, his eye sockets bleeding down his face, carving 2 paths. He laughed at her, revealing his ghastly white teeth. The next morning, the other roommates had returned. Lily woke up to find herself in bed in the dorm room. "What happened to you last night?" "Just as I was about to sleep, I heard you scream outside the door, and when I opened it, you were lying there, unconscious. I had to carry you back to bed," said Dana. After eating, the four girls took a ride to a large shopping center in the city. They found a short-term job selling cosmetics, as a way to spend their weekend. Minnie wasn't short on cash, she was just there to keep her roommates company. In the mall, Lily and Crystal talked up customers with all their might, their throats dry from the effort, but with little success. Meanwhile, Dana seemed to make a sale with almost everyone she approached, including some who looked shabby and unlikely to have money. On their way back from the city in the afternoon, they passed a lottery stand by the school gate. Since they hadn't made much that day, Lily suggested they go in and buy some scratch cards. After picking a few, Lily was about to scratch off a ticket when Dana stopped her. "Wait," Dana said, "that one's not a winner, choose another." Dana asked the shopkeeper to bring out a whole stack of tickets. She sifted through them and tore out one specific ticket. "This one is a winner, 50,000. Half believing, half doubting, Lily scratched off the covering, and everyone's jaw dropped in disbelief. She had won, indeed, 50,000. The legend of Dana obtaining the ghost eye quietly circulated around. Dana, who previously went unnoticed, suddenly became popular, surrounded by admirers and flatterers. However, gaining supernatural abilities did not bring Dana happiness. Instead, she became despondent, spending her days in gloom and irritability. She broke up with her boyfriend because he loved money more than her. Her relationships with classmates also deteriorated, often arguing over trivial matters and exposing their selfish and dark thoughts. Dana became the public enemy, shunned and isolated by everyone except Lily, who still talked to her. One night, Lily vaguely saw Dana standing in front of her bed, smiling, then turning to walk towards the dorm balcony. Dana looked back at Lily, lowered her head, and leapt down. Dana had jumped from the building. Lily sat up immediately. There was a piece of paper on the table, held down by a cell phone, fluttering in the breeze. It was Dana's. "I have seen through everything in this world, and life no longer holds any meaning for me. I'm leaving, goodbye." Dana's final words. Dawn was breaking. Lily rushed to the balcony. Dana lay below, blood pooling around her. Next to her, squatting a person looked up, locking eyes with Lily, dressed in a suit, with neatly parted hair, the same boy she saw that night. He smiled at her, showing his white teeth. Ah! A scream pierced the early morning campus, and early risers discovered Dana's body below. The evidence was conclusive. Dana's death was ruled a suicide. The note explained why the deceased had gouged out her own eyes before death. Lily hid the detail of the cell phone. Biology lab specimen, Tutankhamun. What did these 4 words in the cell phone draft mean? Lily researched various legends about Tutankhamun but couldn't understand how they related to Dana's death. Remembering the sorrowful and longing look Dana gave her, what was she trying to tell? The police concluded the eyes were removed before death, but Dana's eyes were clearly present before she died, weren't they? A sequence of questions troubled Lily. When she came back to her senses, she found herself at the school's back mountain garbage dump. Accidentally, she kicked a plastic bag, revealing a horrifying face. Ah! Lily was about to scream, but upon closer inspection, it was just a scary mask. It seemed familiar. Wasn't this? Lily immediately bent down, disregarding the filth, and started searching through the plastic bag. Sure enough, she found it. The evidence was conclusive. There was no escape for her. Before they knew it, another weekend arrived, leaving the dormitory almost deserted. Minnie came back from outside and reached for the light switch on the wall, but the light wouldn't turn on. What's going on? The space was narrow and under the pale moonlight, deathly silent. My eyes are gone, I've come to get them back. A fleeting voice came from behind. Minnie, terrified, turned around. There stood a person with long hair, revealing a pale face, 2 dark, bloody holes for eyes. Give me back my eyes. Ah! Minnie screamed in terror, her body pressed against the wall. After catching her breath, she regained her usual calm and composure. You're not doing it right, I recognize your voice, Lily. The lights inside the room turned on, and Lily took off her disguise, revealing her true face. How did you know it was me? Minnie was puzzled. Lily smiled lightly, holding a mask and a piece of rope in one hand and tossing over an empty cosmetics bottle with the other. You wanted to kill her, didn't you? They were wrapped in a garbage bag. This brand of cosmetics is expensive, I guess there aren't many at the school who can afford it. Of course, you can deny it, but your hair was left on it, unique to you. If you're not afraid of trouble, shall we go for a DNA test? Such important evidence should be destroyed immediately, not dumped in a garbage pile. Minnie was dismissive, so what if it was me? She made my life miserable, can't I scare her a bit, teach her a lesson? Just because she exposed my real age, my wealthy boyfriend broke up with me, don't play the saint, you think I don't know? You inadvertently found out about me in Xiaolong, told Dana let Crystal know, turning her against me. This way, you avenged both you and Crystal's grudge and also got back at Dana. You and Dana cheated in cards, winning a lot of money from me and Crystal, spreading rumors about Dana's ghost, deceiving many for compliments and favors. You think I'm not aware? How are you any better than me? Lily blushed with shame, but the 2 girls made peace. But we didn't deceive everyone, Lily said. When it's just us here, why be so pretentious? But you really went all out, hiring people to buy high-end cosmetics, forging a lottery ticket with a 50,000 win. Okay, big time move, ruthless. It's true. Lily explained, I admit the first 2 were indeed deceiving everyone, but everything after that had nothing to do with me. Even if we wanted to deceive, we wouldn't come up with such a bad, worthless trick, right? Besides, where would Dana and I get so much money for such a setup? Would you just not deny it? I really didn't, Lily insisted again. If everything was fake, why did Dana turn out like that later, and why would she commit suicide? Minnie was stunned. Right, why hadn't she thought of that? And you're talking about me? Lily pouted, you had a plan after another, hiring a guy to scare Dana. What? A guy? Minnie interrupted loudly. Yes, a guy, around 6 feet tall, in a suit, with a neatly parted hairstyle. As Lily spoke, she suddenly noticed Minnie's horrified face, trembling as she murmured, I didn't, could the legend be true? Are there really ghost eyes? Are there really ghosts? After a moment of silence, both girls screamed, ah, and stumbled out of the dorm. Lily, shivering, called her boyfriend Ethan, crying, what do? I really saw a ghost, I'm being haunted. Don't be scared, I'm here, it's okay, her boyfriend comforted her. The legend was true, there really was a ghost eye, there really were ghosts. Compared to that, the unresolved mysteries didn't seem to matter anymore. A few days later, Lily, who felt like she was living years each day, received a call from her boyfriend Ethan, I found a way to solve this. We just need to destroy those eyes to completely eliminate the ghost, to get rid of its hauntings. The problem is, where to find those eyes? Lily thought for a moment, I know where the eyes are. In the deep of the night, all was silent. Lily and Ethan sneaked into the biology laboratory. Lily went straight to the equipment cabinet and pointed at the eagle specimen, it's there, its eyes. I'll get it for you, Ethan held Lily back and climbed up to retrieve the eagle's eyes. Lily reached out her hand, quick, give them to me, I want to crush them. Ethan suddenly leapt away, took out a bottle from his pocket, and stored the 2 eyeballs inside. What are you doing? Lily was stunned. Ha, Ethan burst into proud laughter, with this, I don't have to worry about the rest of my life. Why bother studying hard when I can use it to buy lottery tickets, make lots and lots of money, get as much as I want. I can also use it to spy on people's secrets and privacy, another way to get rich, ah. Bang! With a muffled sound from behind, Ethan's smile froze and his body slid down, collapsing to the ground. Minnie emerged from the shadows, holding a wooden stick. Too bad, you won't get to enjoy it. With that, Minnie opened the bottle, took out a pair of eyeballs, placed them on the ground, and stomped on them several times, the burst eyeballs splashing blood and liquid, some of which splattered on Minnie's face. Ha, ha, ha. Minnie laughed loudly, her face twisted as if possessed. Michael, you're finished. You can't even be a ghost now. You won't harm me anymore. She tore off the amulet around her neck, threw it away with force, and crushed it to pieces. From now on, I don't have to wear this thing anymore. Serve him like a grandson, I'm free. Lily was utterly confused by the series of sudden events. Suddenly, Minnie lunged towards her with a ferocious gaze. Lily was petrified. In a flash, Lily was pushed hard, falling out the window. No one will ever know about this. During the fall, she heard these words. Lily got up from the ground, dusting off her clothes, and walked back towards the biology lab. Inside, besides Ethan, Minnie also lay on the ground, and standing nearby were two ghosts without eyes, one in a suit and one was Dana. Seeing him, Dana explained, the legend was true, but it wasn't a girl who died, it was that boy who pretended to be rich. His death wasn't suicide, but murder. She turned her vacant eye sockets towards the man in the suit. The senior ruined his parents' lives and neglected his studies for Minnie. Yet greedy and vain Minnie still broke up with him. The senior couldn't take it and confronted her repeatedly. In a rage, Minnie harmed the senior, making it look like a suicide. In the last moment of his life, he gouged out his eyes, hating himself for being foolish in love. I've been resentful since I died, wanting revenge. But after my death, she sought help from a master who imprisoned me. That day, lightning released the spell. Sadly, with her protective amulet, I couldn't do anything to her. I had no choice but to resort to such a scheme. But now, I've decided to let go. Michael turned to Dana. I owe you a pair of eyes, and now I can return them to you. Minnie became blind and left the campus. Ethan turned foolish, continually muttering, eyes, eyes. On the horizon, a red sun slowly rose, heralding the awakening of the dormant earth. Inside the biology lab, Dana urged Lily to leave this world that no longer belonged to them. Lily refused. She had too many emotional ties and grievances that she couldn't unravel or let go of. Why did Minnie want to kill you? Especially since she knew the so-called ghost eye was fake. Dana explained, I exposed Minnie's real age, and the incident with Crystal and the cheating at cards made her suspicious, mistakenly thinking I had acquired the ghost eye. Her disguise as an eyeless ghost was actually an opportunity to kill me, while also misleading others to believe that it was a girl who had died, not a boy. Later, I indeed acquired the ghost eye, gaining the supernatural ability to see into people's hearts and see through everything. However, ultimately, I could only choose suicide. Sooner or later, these matters would become known, and knowing so many secrets, even if Minnie didn't kill me, others would. I simply couldn't continue to exist in this world, I had to die. Do you understand? Did you ever disclose anything about Crystal's matter and the card cheating? Of course not. Lily became even more puzzled. So, you mean to say before you got the ghost eye, Minnie didn't know? Maybe she got involved with Ethan around that time. Because I only ever discussed those two matters with Ethan, yet Minnie knew, who posted the legend about the ghost eye. It was teacher Fiona who posted it, and she was also the one who told me about Minnie's real age. On September 5th, it was raining. How coincidental was it that Fiona asked you to go to the biology lab? You said Fiona called you to go there, but when I tried calling your phone, it was off. She didn't actually call you that day, did she? What exactly did Fiona tell you? Dana sighed deeply. I too was exploited, seduced. How could Michael's eyes, after he was harmed, appear in the biology lab perfectly preserved for 3 years? What does all this have to do with Fiona? Also, Lily looked up at Dana's eyes, originally Minnie's, now perfectly intact. What did you mean by that Tutankhamun note you left me? Dana walked up to the equipment cabinet, reached into the hollow eye sockets of the eagle specimen, and scooped out a pair of eyeballs, handing them to Lily. The senior had passed, leaving behind these eyes. He realized that Minnie already knew of his presence. To keep his soul intact, he borrowed my eyes and placed them inside the eagle's eye sockets to deceive her. That's the meaning of Tutankhamun. This is the real ghost eye. Wear it to the realm of the living to discern all the chaos, differentiate the true from the false.